Welcome, everybody, to the Daily Market Commentary. My name is Charlie Fulkerson, joined by my dad, tax-taking Chuck Fulkerson.
I don't take taxes. I only take taxes on your snacks. Anybody who's a parent and doesn't take a snack tax, you're missing out. The first 10% of any snack I give him, he's got to first give to me. All right, everybody, welcome to the Daily Market Commentary. Joined again by my amazing co-host, Charlie. We're going to take a look at the markets like we do each and every day. For those of you new to the channel, do me a favor, make sure that you click that subscribe button down below so that you can get alerts as we have opportunities that come available. So let's go ahead and dive right in. So starting first with the S&P. Now, the S&P, we had talked yesterday about this little area here, and we traded into it and then moved back out and hit our profit target. So remembering that we said that if it comes back up here again, it's going to blow right through, and that's exactly what it did. Now, that's not bad because of what we had on the Nasdaq. We do have a second area up here that we're starting to get to, and we're seeing a waning in momentum of the upward trend. So the waning of momentum of the upward trend, we're getting back here to the top of this kind of reversal point. What I don't like is the way that we're arriving into this area. I think our arrival into this area is fairly weak, and I would like to see I'd like to see a little bit stronger arrival into here. So I'm not in love with this area up here. I'll keep it in play simply because it's a confirmation style entry waiting for price to come in, and then we get short as it comes back out. And it's also a fairly small area for an hourly chart, so not a bad one to look at. Looking next here at the Nasdaq, now this is the one that I'm a little bit more excited about. And Charlie, yesterday, we talked about this blue line acting as a ceiling. And if something goes through the ceiling, Charlie, which way is it going to go?
Up. I already told you that. Podcast.
Yeah, the last video we did, prices broke through the ceiling, continue to rise. It's starting to stall out just a little bit. And this is actually a pretty similar pattern to what we're seeing in oil. And I spoke to a good friend yesterday who was in an oil position, and he said, how can I manage this position? So I'm going to look at both the Nasdaq and the oil because both are putting on a pretty similar price pattern. If you have multiple contracts, a way that you can manage this position is pull some off as it gets to your profit target, but then we've put in a new fair price value area right here. So we may get a little reversal off of this today. And a little reversal off of this today could give you another chance to move your stop up underneath here or even re-enter if price comes back into this region. That is actually the same for both crude oil and for the Nasdaq, as both have this fair price value area kind of underneath current price where we could see price come back in and then boom, pop a little bit higher. Now we are definitely seeing momentum is weaker in our upward trend. So our upward trend momentum has weakened, and this is without a doubt we have some divergence here between price and momentum. And then if I even go to a smaller scale, we've put in a couple of higher highs right here in price and a couple of lower highs right here in momentum. So that really is one of the things that makes me kind of just be aware that we could get a bit of a reversal. It is also a Friday. Last Friday was our first one in about 7 weeks where we didn't have a sell-off at the end of the day. So I actually am going to keep an eye on a potential, there's a reversal that could still happen out of this area up above us. And if you are not as comfortable taking that area, but you'd want to take the breakdown, you might even wait for a short below here. So lots of options to do on a day like today, where you've got weakening momentum in the upward trend. Ideally, you're still long from that Nasdaq breakout and have been able to bank some profits on this one. And if you didn't get the breakout, then you maybe have entered the long back down here. So overall, pretty good Nasdaq move that we saw over the course of a couple of days this week. Just have some sort of a plan heading into today. So looking at crude oil, Crude oil, we have pulled back a little bit. If you missed most of this move that happened on the Middle East talks, you certainly have another opportunity to get in, possibly as it starts to get back up above 71.74 to rejoin the trend. This is another one where we're seeing that momentum is waning, right? I've got lower swing highs on my momentum indicator, and I don't live and die by indicators by any stretch of the imagination. But if you throw a ball up in the air, when you throw a ball up in the air, Charlie, what's that ball eventually going to do?
Come back down, right?
It's going to come back down. Now, as you're throwing that ball up in the air, is that ball speeding up as it goes in the air, or is it slowing down?
Slowing down.
It's slowing down. So something slows down before it changes directions. And that's what we're seeing here with the slowing momentum. Is all we're doing is looking to see if it's slowing down as it continues to rise. Gold, I'm getting really bored talking about gold every day, but it's just in between these two areas, and I'm not going to do anything until it gets outside of those two areas. Next, let's look at our bond markets and our currencies. So in our currency markets, we still have our bond market breakout here, as that has not hit yet. In our currencies, I've got an area in the Aussie and the Euro just above me, which price may reach today, and the Canadian dollar, hashtag epic failure. That one came into the level and then broke through. We are coming to another level today that could be a better opportunity if price does indeed make it up to here. So not a whole lot to add on our currencies from what we had yesterday. I still think all of these are potential reversal points in these currency markets. But keep an eye on the Twitter feed today, as we may make adjustments throughout the day. Looking last and certainly not least, the Japanese yen, we had this potential breakout long up here. If price can get through that area, price is certainly nowhere near there yet. And then the Great British Pound, we are chopping along, and this is just tough, as I like to say, tough sledding. It's just chopping along and just moving sideways. There's really very little opportunity in here, and I don't want to force a trade. The hourly chart is my primary chart, so I don't really want to force a trade unless it's something that comes to me. So I think today, today's one. If you've had a great week, today could be a good walk the dog day. There's nothing that says you have to trade every day, and don't try to force it. So, Charlie, I think that's all I have for today. I'm also joined by another co-host, Little John, and Little John is here too. John, say good morning to everybody.
Morning.
And John is here learning about slides and mountains today too. So maybe someday John will be our other co-host. But Charlie, anything else you want to say before we leave?
See you, everybody. From Charlie Fulkerson, joined by my dad. Super Bowl Chuck Fulkerson / bootleg / tax taking Chuck Fulkerson.
John, he's not very nice to me. Is he very nice to me, Johnny?
No.
All right. Thanks, everybody. I'll see you on the weekend edition. See you soon.
See ya.